Greetings, fellow traders. Bubba here. It's time for the daily market wrap for Thursday, March the 18th, 2021. I hope everybody had a great trading day today. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right, let's check see where we left off the market here today. So SPX down 58 points, really pulled off of the upper Bollinger Band right there. Again, upper shadow right here. It's starting to turn into a little bit of a shooting star here on the weekly chart. So we'll see how that goes into the rest of the week. But are we really surprised? Are we really surprised? Not really, right? We closed below the ADMA, but what have we been talking about this whole time? This rising wedge type formation and the possibility of wave 5 being done with an ending diagonal, right? So we have this this kind of finish right here of the subwave 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And a possible ABC pullback. We said watch this level down here as a potential target right before we start to go. Right, so let's see how that goes going into tomorrow. So cool stuff there. Let's say with the SPY, see what kind of volume came in here today. There was some selling that was going on here, so we might have seen some increased volume. We had low volume earlier this afternoon. Yeah, so when you see that type of selling, oh, panic sell, we want to get out of that position, right? So let's see how it holds right here. I think the market's bouncing a little bit after hours, but we'll see how that goes. Into the rest of the evening. A little bit of irritable pal syndrome today. Again, follow through from yesterday's kind of interesting close. Right, we had a big spike yesterday. We had a big spike in the market, and after the Fed, right. But a big spike like that usually doesn't like to be met without a revisit, right, of the scene of the breakdown. And so we came, or scene of the breakout in that case, we came back there a couple times here today. Right, kind of tagged that a couple times, and then we kind of drifted up a little bit, right. Then we kind of came back down again. This is your signal right here that maybe something is amiss. Right, we came back up again, and once we came back and retested it, that's where things started to go into play. And we found this clear space right here, which is right part of our game plan this morning. That if we did lose our yesterday's lows, there was some clear air to get to the next levels below, and we had the poor low below here too, which may still rebalance to the downside. Right, so we got to keep an eye on that stuff right here. So this was a big clue, right? The big clue. The fact is that we just didn't kind of just test it and leave, right? The fact that we kind of hung out here for a long time without really testing any, without really just kind of working our way back up to all-time highs shows that maybe it wanted to test a little bit lower, right? So that was really interesting. That's a lot of that's kind of an insight into price action right there. MES, let's take a look. MES, same stuff right here. We basically lost the scene of the breakdown right here. In the context of this larger triangle, the triangulation here that we were talking about here today, we did break down right here, but one of our members really pointed this out too as an inverse cup and handle, and that also broke down too. So either way, great geometric level right here and a beautiful breakdown. So nice stuff there. We'll see what kind of follow through we get going in tomorrow. Let's stay with the Qs. And again, it also corresponds nicely with the wave count that we've been talking about here too. Qs, guys, we talked about this today. If we lost this geometric line, there's a good chance that we'd test at yesterday's lows, right, and possibly even lower. Look what we did. We came down all the way to this geometric line right here. So really cool stuff. Imagine that. Let's take a look at the IWM. So IWM, again, weak, guys. Once it broke its 15-order below, right, it was over, right? We talked about in the bubble report this morning there was a possibility that we would test at yesterday's lows, and we certainly got there. XLF, let's take a look at the banks today. So they were kind of oddly holding the market up. So what I did is in the group today is I let everybody know that it looked like the banks were starting to break down. I started to see some bearish price action in this one, and for instance, here we got some sideways action, started to break down some more, and I told the group, I was like, look, guys, if this thing starts to break down, it could weigh heavier on the market, right? Because if you think about it, right, it's like pushing up a big boulder right here. Once it starts to roll back down, right, it's kind of has that avalanche effect, right? The big snowball effect starts to affect everything else too. XL is a big player in the market right there. It's a little odd seeing it being the only one going up today. As I said, it has to hold up. If not, it pulls back. Watch for more downside in the market. We definitely saw that today. So it's cool stuff there. A couple names that we're tracking, as usual, is Apple. So let's kind of take a look at Apple here again. Pulled back nicely here today. Nice triangle breakdown. A little bit of a magical triangle on that one there today too. Tesla. So Tesla is one that we pointed out in the group here for a potential short below the 15-order below. It broke down nicely, gave you kind of a quick little retrace right here, and then a nice flush on that one. Boeing, we did see some call activity on this one today, and it was nice. This was right on this dip area right here, but we're not getting married to it, right? We're just day trading, right? So that gave a nice push up right here, and then flushed it. It actually gave a nice short setup intraday on Boeing. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. And then just a couple other ones that are on the radar for tomorrow. We got Nike. They just had earnings reported tonight, so they had better than expected earnings, but a miss on revenue. So it's kind of just chopping around here after hours. A couple other ones we didn't want to really. We're a little bit timid about shorting the whole market right here going into tomorrow, but keep an eye on QS. Keep it on the bearish radar going tomorrow. That had a pretty weak day today. It got kind of a tight range. It might be looking for some more downside, some expansion to the downside. Cisco was on the radar too, but it's just kind of keep it on there. It actually ended up moving enough where it's not even really on the radar anymore. And then Workhorse. Let's take a a look at Workhorse here. WKHS. This is another one to just kind of keep on the radar tomorrow too, and see how that behaves. We're leaning a little bit bearish on it going into tomorrow, and it may break down a little bit more. So we'll see how that goes. So anyway, QS being my favorite of the three. So good stuff. We'll see you guys on the live stream tonight. We'll wrap up our series tonight, and hope everybody has an awesome one. Until then, still stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game.